if we look at the facts, Miss Amin was outside of court and spoken by myself and her solicitor, Kelly Darlington. We spoke about, we used Miss Amin's words. She said, you know, we felt like we weren't treated the same because we were from a different country. And what this report has done is actually validated exactly what they said. There were people actually, and I saw these comments that said, why is race being brought into this? And this report shows that actually, not only is there evidence of othering by Rochdale Boroughwide Housing, but actually their own staff have said that sometimes they would raise things with managers at RBH and they would say things along the lines of, well, this mould, you know, the family are actually lucky to even have a house because they're refugees. So it's deeply upsetting and frankly deeply worrying, Kay.
So they thought that because this family had a roof over their head, that was enough and it didn't matter whether there was mould like on the image behind you there?
Well, that's what the Ombudsman report would seem to suggest. And what was particularly concerning when reading that was just the fact that Awaab's case was not an anomaly. I received those papers and I remember thinking, wow, I can't believe things to this extent happen. And the fact that actually so widely within RBH this was taking place, potentially still is worrying. And the inquest was in December of last year, and at that point, 80% of properties owned by RBH still had mould in them. Awaab died 2 years prior to that, so it's deeply upsetting.
What's the situation with the family now?
The family are still struggling, of course, because of the magnitude of the loss. However, they are deeply warned by the public's support. Michael Gove's now committed to an Awaab's law, which will set time limits, ensuring that landlords should fix issues of damp and mould within certain timescales and other issues. So it's positive, and they've. I had a phone call with them and spoke to them about the key points of this report, and again they were warned by that. So nothing will ever bring Awaab back, but them seeing that changes are taking place gives them a bit of confidence that no other family has to go through the pain that they have.
And we're hearing from the Levelling Up Secretary, he's saying no more money for this organisation to build new houses until they can prove that they've improved on their behaviour when it comes to fixing problems and also, you know, depending on who they're talking to, dealing with people differently, which is totally and utterly unacceptable. Is that something that the family support, that no more money should be given to organisations like this? Or do they think more houses do need to be built in order to try and get rid of this sort of issue that's claimed the life of their son?
In truth, for the family, the politics is less of their concern. For them, it's just that no other family can be put in this situation. And they would say whatever needs to be done to ensure that is the steps that need to take place. But we have to appreciate there's a precedence of not particularly much trust towards RBH because, for example, it was the fact that, you know, we had to call for there to be a change in the leadership. That didn't come naturally. The fact that actually, as the report makes clear, and perhaps one of the most worrying parts of the report, Rochdale Boroughwide Housing themselves did a survey of all of their properties, and actually when the survey was then done again in 2022, that uncovered so many more instances of damp than RBH had spotted themselves, which begs the question, well, actually, can we really trust RBH to properly get to the bottom of this?
A quick thought before I let you go. What advice would you give to people watching at home this morning who might find themselves in this position or know somebody who is?
Well, what is the one positive out of this is that there is a spotlight on these issues now. So I would encourage you to contact your local MP. I always speak about Quajo, who's done brilliant work in this area for a while, getting in touch with him. Going on social media, it seems that, sadly, public pressure is often now the only way in which action will be taken. Do that. Go on social media, talk about what's happening. Shout loud, yes, Kay.
OK, it's good to see you.